Human trafficking and child exploitation are issues that not only have modern ramifications, but also root themselves in ancient narratives, as well as religious and spiritual considerations that have been discussed throughout history. These ideas tie into dynamics of power, sacrifice, and dehumanization that unfortunately recur in the human condition. Ancient knowledge. In many ancient cultures, humanity faced ritual sacrifices as a way to appease the gods or as part of certain beliefs. In civilizations like the Aztecs, human sacrifices reflected a deep disdain for life, where children were often victims in rituals intended to secure crops or divine favor. This type of sacrifice is associated with the idea that some lives can be sacrificed for the greater good, a concept that still resonates in some cultural contexts today. Religious considerations. In the Judeo-Christian tradition, the sacrifice of children is discussed unfavorably. For example, the Old Testament condemns the practice of child sacrifice in honor of Baal, reflecting dehumanization and aversion to such acts. The story of Moses, who was saved from sacrifice by his mother, illustrates the struggle between protecting life and the demands of destructive practices. From a spiritual perspective, many religions speak to the importance of compassion and humanity. In Buddhism, for instance, the concept of active compassion leads to the idea of protecting the most vulnerable and alleviating their suffering. However, historical instances have shown that a lack of empathy and a desire for control have often led to exploitation. Examples in modern culture. The representation of human trafficking and child exploitation has been addressed in various films, often portraying the darker side of human nature. Some works provide social critique about these realities. 1. Taken. This film, starring Liam Neeson, presents human trafficking, particularly of young people, and showcases a father's struggle to rescue his daughter from a trafficking ring. This dramatized story exposes the unsettling reality of child exploitation. Slumdog Millionaire. This film depicts a young boy growing up in extreme poverty in India, who becomes a victim of a child exploitation scheme. It reflects how social context can lead to dehumanization and a struggle for power and control. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. This adaptation reveals the mystery surrounding the disappearance of a young woman, exploring themes of violence, abuse, and the exploitation of women and children in a society that often looks the other way. Or Exporting Raymond. Although a comedy, it echoes the exploitation of cultures and represents how narratives are crafted to satisfy exotic visions that can provoke real damage. Final reflection. The intersection of these themes with the sanctity of human life, exploitation, and representations in modern culture invites a profound reflection on ethics and morality. Human trafficking is not just a contemporary issue. It has links to ancient practices and thoughts that persist today as modern injustices. The fight against this issue requires not only awareness but also a spiritual and ethical commitment to protect the most vulnerable and challenge narratives that normalize dehumanization. By integrating ancient knowledge and spiritual lessons, we can aspire to create a more just and compassionate world.